car number 5, Connecticut, the Dolly's Collision and Custom Machine. The CCP Motorsports car. From Moosup, Connecticut, legendary driver Chris Pastriak. Now let's move in to the 10th row, starting position number 19. It is car number 06, Glastonbury Oil, the Wheel Shop, Paint Correction Ceramic car. Les Hinckley is the man that sits behind the wheel from Windsor Locks, Connecticut. He'll start back in the 19th position. Moving now to the 9th row. In the 18th starting position, car number 13, the USNE Power, Oak Ridge Waste and Recycling, Lumax Package Store, Doug DeFizzo car. From Oakdale, Connecticut, car number 13 for Max Zackham. In the 9th row, starting position number 17, car number 14, the Bear Calaccio Green Construction Management car. From Shelton, Connecticut, the 2024 champion of the SK Modifieds at Stafford Speedway, Andrew Moeller. In the 16th starting position, it is car number 47, the Allied Sanitation Luxury Pool Machine. From Walcott, Connecticut, they call him the Mooch, Joey Muchacharo. Now moving to the 15th starting, car number 55, young driver, really starting to come into his own. The JDR Motorsports GFA Arms Technology car. It is car 59, correction car 55 for Ryan Doucette. Now moving into the 14th starting position, car number 88, the Dunleavy Truck and Trailer Xfinity Homes Machine. From Bellingham, Massachusetts, number 2 man going in the points, car number 88, the Woodman himself, Woody Pitcat. Now let's move 7 rows back, starting position number 13. Car number 04, that will be the McLean Woodworking, My Orange Bucket car. From Monroe, Connecticut, Dylan Izzo. Now we move to starting position number 12, car number 79, former champion of the Wheel and Modified Tour, Christopher's Towing Company car. It is John McKennedy. Now we move to the 11th starting position, car number 92, Anthony Nocella, the Nocella Paving K&D Associates car. They call him Ant. Now moving into the top 10, car number 50. It will be the number 50 machine. That, of course, is Ronnie Williams from Lebanon, Connecticut, the Adam Scavora Empower Financial Less's Auto Center car. Moving now into the 9th position, row number 5 to the inside, car number 66, USNE Power, Long Island, Kennedy Realty, FX Capera, the standout from Riverhead Raceway, car 66, Timmy Dolomito. In the 8th starting position, car number 76. This young driver is on a roll. The 137 gas Bell Septic Norton Perry car, the only Dodge-powered car in the field. From Brewster, Mass., Brett Meservey. Inside, the current point leader, 9-time champion, car number 60. He'll be driving the Florida Connection machine for his dear friend, Greg Narducci. From the 7th starting spot, Big Money Matt Hirschman. Now let's take a look at row number 3, car number 55, Connecticut, winner of $20,000 back on the Wednesday program. The Montanari Fuel, Gator Sports Fishing, Business Time Motorsports car from Danbury, Connecticut, Teddy Hodgson. Position number 5, car number 25. That will be the 25, the Casella Snowplow Mully's machine. Gary Casello owns the Harvard, Massachusetts driver of car 25, Matt Swanson. Row number 2, starting position number 4, car number 1, Pennsylvania, from Newtown, the Newtown Fools machine for Anthony Bello. Inside, starting position number 3, car number 07, Kyle Bonsignore from Mooresville, North Carolina, the Island International Industries Access Wealth machine. And making up the front row, car number 1. This gentleman also runs up front in the point standings among the top 5 cars. He'll be driving the number 1, the Newtown Pools Warnick Construction car, SK Manufacturing from Newtown, Stephen Kopsick. And at the point, car number 179, star of the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour, USNE Power, Avenue Auto, Creations, the John Jensen car from Northampton, Pennsylvania. Would you welcome Austin Beers? That is your starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, the USNE Haunted 100 is moving on the racetrack 2 by 2 and side by side. And the man who is joining me alongside is one of the best short track broadcasters in the business, the voice of the Seekonk Speedway. Kevin, welcome, and we are ready for a treat. We've got a battle for the win, and how important that is, but we've got a battle for the point standing. Can anybody knock off Matt Hirschman for another title in the Monaco Tri-Track Series?
One thing about Matt is he has learned this track a long time ago, and he runs here twice a year, and he's already picked up more than a half a dozen wins at this facility. To beat him here is tough. It's going to take a mechanical failure to find him not in victory lane, or at least close to it. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles starting 7th on this field as we get ready to go.
This is the Monaco Tri-Track Series. Ladies and gentlemen, get up out of your seats. Give them a wave. Give them a big send-off. Here they come. Down into turn number 3, and with the call, Kevin Boucher.
Off of turn number 4, the twin greens are in the air, and Austin Beers gets a good jump over Stephen Kopchik and sets the pace off at turn number 2. No, you are not seeing double. That's Anthony Bello in the twin car sitting 4th.
That car that Bellows is driving is the car that Kopchik usually competes in. He said, I wanted the kid to have the best equipment, so I went to the backup car. Single file, top 5 cars, bumper to bumper. Then we got the first side-by-side battle, Kev, and it is Meserve who shakes off Matt Swanson. That's a big accomplishment here at this racetrack.
Yeah, Brett really knows this racetrack. He started his career here in the youth division way back when, before moving up the ranks into the Pro 4 modifieds and now into the full-time modifieds.
We've got some heavy hitters working their magic into the front. John McKennedy has also made his presence known as he works his magic. Here comes Kopchik. Kopchik dives to the inside.
Kopchik down low with the 179 of Beers up top. They roll down the backstretch, wheel to wheel at the top of the field. Off of 4 they come, down to the stripe. Beers holding on by a slim margin that time.
No question about it. Here comes Kopchik. This kid not only is a good driver, he knows how to set up a race car. Going, can't be gone this time. They are side by side. Put a piece of paper between the two, Kevin. Back towards the front. They are evenly matched, and no one is giving up the quest for position 1.
No, and that time Kopchik is able to wrestle the lead away from Beers as he sets down the backstretch. Beers still holding tight on the outside, and you've got the 07 of Kyle Bonsignor knocking on the door in that 3rd spot.
Kyle Bonsignor took the peak to the bottom. 4 cars run nose to tail. It is Kopchik, then it's Beers, then it's Bonsignor, and then it is Bellows. Now moving in, making it a 5-car bid. All of a sudden, it is Teddy Hodgson. Things are starting to settle in. First side-by-side battle is at the bottom of the top 10.
Yeah, Matt Swanson backsliding down low as Timmy Solomito has gotten by. Now the 79 of McKennedy is slid by, and here comes Woody Pitcat working that top groove as well. And McKennedy showing he's got power on the inside as he immediately goes to work on Timmy Solomito.
Keep your eyes on Woody Pitcat. Pitcat has become a closer in this series. He kind of paces himself in the beginning. John McKennedy moves down underneath the 66 car. That is the battle we're currently watching. Timmy Solomito is running in the 8th position. Here comes Woody Pitcat. Kevin, he's become the tail that wags the dog.
Yeah, working that inside lane, and Solomito really took quickly to this racetrack, but is struggling early on, or is he just saving his car? As he's learned, it's the second half that counts, the last 50, and you see Matt Hirschman sitting back in 7th, just biding his time. waiting for the race to come to him.
He certainly is. And then there's a big gap. And all of a sudden in that second pack of cars, Ronnie Williams has started to break through. Williams is back in the 14th position. And literally, he has a gaggle of cars that are following him.
Machicharo on the inside, Doucette on the outside. You've got the 5 of Pasteryak, the 3 of Ripkema, the 13 of Zachem, the 92 of Anthony Marcella, all in that pack right there with even more behind him. As up front, another battle for the lead. This time it's Beers on the inside.
Beers trying a different strategy. His father had success here at this racetrack driving for the Bowler family. Now Beers making his presence known, knocking on heaven's door, but it is still Kopsik in command. Monsignor, he's got plenty of giddy-up. Of the top 3 cars, Monsignor is quicker than the 2 cars in front of him.
Yeah, and he's in a perfect spot right now, sitting in that 3rd position. He's able to stay close with him, but not abuse his machine. As he takes a look to the outside of Beers coming off of 4, he settles it back in, not a lot of pressure.
Trouble up ahead might be the lap traffic. We will see what's going to happen. It'll be pick and choose time. But it is Stephen Kopsik showing it was no fluke that he started this season with a win in the Granite State at Thunder Road. He clicked off the first win of the year. He's setting the pace. Now, where is Matt Hirschman in all of this? In the comfort zone, back in the 7th spot. Hirschman is a big closer. He's not going to waste any time at all playing games early in this event.
We've seen it time and time again where he waits, and then all of a sudden, there he is. And he's starting to get some pressure now. He's closing in on Teddy Hodgson, but here comes John McKennedy and Woody Pitcat closing right up on him.
Sure is. There is 2 champions in their own right in search of one of the all-time greats. Nobody has won as many titles in this series as Matt Hirschman. And today, he's driving with a heavy heart for Greg Narducci, the Florida Connection.
Top 5 and a little bit of a breakaway. Make that the top 3 now, as they have gotten away from Anthony Bello by about 4 car lengths, and they are working that lap traffic. Kopsik leading the way. The 179 of Austin Beers, the 07 of Monsignor right there in that, and they just continue to flow through the traffic.
The next lap car to go down a lap will be Walt Sutcliffe with car number 78. Will he be a problem for the leaders? Kopsik looks to go up the hill. Kopsik is going to make it by. And now there's Beers trying to stick it into the inside. It doesn't work. Now let's look a little further back. All of a sudden, Teddy Hodgson, running in the 6th position, is being pressured heavily by Matt Hirschman, John McKennedy, and Woody Pitcat.
One thing we got to remember is we usually get long green flag runs in this race, and if you lay back too long, it could be too late.
Yes.
So Hirschman's got to really be on that line of where he's got to go, and all of a sudden, it looks like he's going to start to turn that wick up just a little bit as he starts to pressure Teddy Hodgson as he goes down below.
Certainly does look like that.
Cover the 2, though. We got 1 car around, and I believe that is Jeffrey Battle in the number 19. No, that is the 06 of Les Hinkley.
Of Les Hinkley. Hinkley has had a really tough season. He went from different manufacturers' brands. This was a former Ryan Priest race car. Ralph Solom had turned the wrenches, one of the all-time veteran crew chiefs, on the car, and they just haven't had much luck at all. Although they had a good run in the MRS race that was held at the Waterford Speed Bowl. Back up front, car number 1, Stephen Kopsik, the man in command. Now, I told you the story at the start of this event. Kopsik's favorite car is the car that Anthony Bello is running in position number 4. He decided to relinquish that car and take the backup car. Earlier today in the paddock area, he told me, I did it because I wanted to be fair to Anthony. We all come from the same shop, and I wanted to give the kid the best. Well, it appears that Stephen Kopsick is the best today so far because for 33 laps, he has been able to hold off Austin Beers. Now, interestingly enough, in the top four positions, Kevin, three of the cars at one time or another, which is first, second, and fourth, all were maintained or worked on by Stephen Kopsick. That's a pretty interesting story.
Well, Stephen's been around for a while as pit's become a hotbed right now. Several cars getting their machines checked out. But Stephen's been around for a little bit, and he's really learned his way around these modifieds.
He certainly has.
He's become a really good setup man for a lot of different people over the years.
You know, there was a time when people might have said that Stephen, well, he is a good setup guy, but he is better at setup than he is at a driver. That is not the case anymore. This kid has really matured. He, at one time, worked for LFR, Bobby Fuller. His best friend was Jay Stowling. Those two came up through the ranks together, working side by side, and it showed, and it's paid off. Now, Timmy Salamito, the pride of Riverhead Raceway, comes back out. Salamito's last visit to this racetrack was a wheel and modified tour event. Then he was driving for Sly Sabin and the old 16, the Flamingo Motorsports team.
Yeah, and this is a racetrack that kind of suits his style. It is a lot different than what he's used to, but it's got that short track feel to it.
It sure does, and now we can see the parade of cars. They're making chassis adjustments. Remember, backstage, they are allowed one tire and only one tire. It is very important and essential not to use that up unless you absolutely need it, because if you have a tire go flat, what is going to happen there?
Well, then you've got to take that tire you took off, and wherever that flat was is where you've got to put that tire. If you change right rears and you got a left front flat, well, that could spell a lot of trouble over the rest of the race for you.
Frank Scambato and Chris Scambato, the men at the helm when it comes to directing race operations. Wayne Darling, not here with us today. Of course, his roots are here at the Seekonk Speedway. He is in Florida. Ed Bennett in charge of things backstage, along with Dave Monaco and the First Lady of Modified Racing, Renee Dupuis. Field is being told to cross over. Mike Helbert looking the field over. And let's see what the crossover indicates for us. And Stephen Kopsick takes the inside. Kevin, you've seen a lot of starts at this racetrack. Is that a good move or a bad move?
Well, it all depends on where your car is better. And right now, Stephen's car is better on the inside, and that's why he took it. It could bite him because Austin will see what he can do on the outside as they come off of 4. 33 laps are complete, and as they head down into 1, it worked out perfectly because Kopsick is able to pick up right where he left off for a moment.
Certainly is, but here comes Beers, trying a different line. Momentum is the story. And look at Kyle Bonsignor. Bonsignor saw an opening to the bottom. Didn't work, Kevin. And it is Austin Beers back in command. Third different lead change of the event.
Well, not that time. Kopsick was able to wrestle it back at the start, at the stripe. But look at the 07 just sitting there. And how about Teddy Hodgson now up on the outside? He's got John McKennedy and Matt Swanson following him through up top as they try to work their way forward. And Matt Hirschman caught on the inside with nowhere to go. 3 wide, a little deeper in the pack.
No question about it. They come off turn number 4. Stephen Kopsick. Right behind them. Bellows is setting in the 4th position. Here comes Meserve. Here comes Teddy Hodgson. Hodgson has got a conga line of competitors to follow him. That is McKennedy, Swanson, Pitcat and Moeller.
You know, one thing we saw right after that restart was the outside lane was moving, but all of a sudden it's changed. And now you've got Meservey up to 5th. Here comes Hirschman following through up to 6th. And McKennedy now, who's lost a couple of spots after that restart, getting caught on the outside, he's starting to make some moves down to the bottom as well.
There's some good racing further back in the field as well. And we can see a side-by-side battle as all of a sudden Anthony Nocella in the 92 is battling with Tim Salamino, and Tyler Ripkema is in that pack of cars.
Yeah, right.
That's in the bottom of the top 20.
Yeah, right behind the 19 of Battle and the 57 of Rocco as they race down the backstretch, and Battle for 4th now heating up. Meservey going down to the inside of Bello off at 2 as they battle for that 4th position.
The Dodge-powered race car, the only Dodge-powered car in the field, is wheel-to-wheel with Anthony Bello. Give Brett Meservey position number 4. That will bump Bellows back to 5. Here comes Hirschman. Here comes John McKennedy. We've got a yellow.
Caution is out, 2 cars together, and that is the 33 of Avery Store, and it looks like the 57
of Keith Rocco.
Yep.
Goes around. Keith has had a tough day in the Monaco Ford machine as his car went around in qualifying. He gathered it back, and now he's involved in a jingle. He's running back in the 18th position. Change of strategy. A different opportunity in this, the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series. They head into turn number 3. The rumble is silent. It's about to be flared up. They are green and racing off turn 4.
A nice even start by the top 2, and Meservey down on the inside, trying to wrestle that lead away and become the 3rd different leader of this one. But Kopchik in control on the outside, trying to edge out. They get out of the stripe, and Kopchik.
It is a side-by-side bid. Brett Meservey. Kopchik takes back position number 1, but it was short-lived, and all of a sudden, here comes Anthony Bellows on the upper lane. But Matt Hirschman has moved in to position number 3. Coming up on halfway, half of the event is all but history, Kevin, and Kopchik has been the star of the show.
And all of a sudden, John McKennedy has worked himself up into the top 5 and putting pressure on Anthony Bello down on the inside. He works off of 4 and edges that spot out, and look who's up to 2nd now, that bright red number 60 of Matt Hirschman.
There's no question about it. Car number 60, the Florida Connection, moves into 2nd. Hirschman is in the runner-up spot. Meanwhile, side-by-side racing, Andrew Moeller and the number 25 car are battling for 6th and 7th. Good battle there. Moeller trying to get into the top 5, but off the turn, Kopchik is still the leader of the pack.
He's got a nice comfortable advantage of 2 car lengths over the 60 of Hirschman. Everybody else single file down the backstretch, 1 car out of line, and that is the 75 of David Arud as he works that outside of Tyler Ripkema.
Meanwhile, we have competitors like the 07 already moving towards the front of the field. Car number 07 has moved into the top 15. So of the cars that has pitted in that last round, Bonsignor has picked up the most spots, but he's still got a long way to go, Kevin.
He really does, and we're at lap 56, and the laps are winding down. Max Zackham showing some strength now. He is up into the 8th spot.
Oh, trouble now. Good save by the battle car.
Yeah, and they go 3 wide momentarily, and Bonsignor really had to thread the needle there momentarily. But look who got caught up in that, and that was the 179 of Beers, as he's lost a host of positions.
He sure has. Meanwhile, Ronnie Williams is following Woody Pitcat. Woody Pitcat is behind Kyle Von Signor. So a lot of strategy going on there. Now, Teddy Hodgson tried to step down underneath the 13 of Max Zackham. He's been there in the bottom, but he can't complete the move as yet.
Now, Max is really starting to come into his own, and now he's able to get by. Zackham is going to try a crossover move, but Hodgson is able to block him as they hit turn number 3. Top 9 cars, nose to tail, at lap number 61.
There's no question about it. Here comes Hirschman. He tested the waters a bit, like sticking your big toe in the pond to see how cold or hot the water might be. Back up front, leader is still Kopsik. He has been the dominant car so far. Now the 9 cars have now become 10 cars. Anthony Nocella has tailed in among the top 10.
This is a track that has always suited Anthony Nocella. When he was running the midgets, he ran strong. Running the modifieds, he runs strong. He's picked up a win with the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour here. Now he's trying to add the Monaco Fords. Modified, battling with Max Zackham, and we'll see after a little bit of contact there how that affects him.
Anthony Nocella, they call him Ant. He is as smooth can be. Back up front, coming up on a lap car, Kevin Folan's number 17 car. To the inside, John McKennedy's got a racy race car number 79 in third. He's been able to back out of it, and then he can reel in on the back bumper of Matt Hirschman.
Into the final 33 as they head off of turn number 2, and Kopchik has been in control since the drop of the green. Hirschman sitting about a car length back with a lot of pressure from John McKennedy as the top 3 try to break away from Brett Meservey.
No question about it. Stephen Kopsik has not been rattled by anyone. He continues to run up front. He is in a zone of his own. 69 laps of 100 in this, the running of today's event, the USNE. Trouble now. Hulkowitz machine goes around. Walter Sutcliffe was involved, but Sutcliffe was able to get away. Now this could be the Van Hurst Choose Cone choose of the event.
Well, Matt Hirschman, I can guarantee, doesn't care what lane he gets.
I think you're right.
But this could be the time that if he's saving, he's going to push it to get out front now, because from here on out, we got 30 laps left. Anything can happen, and you'd rather be the chasee than the chaser.
You are so right, Kevin. And don't forget, sometimes third is the best place to be when you have a choose cone, because John McKennedy, depending on where that Matt Hirschman goes, might be, well, the guy that benefits the most as the field restructures and prepares to go back to green.
He really could be sitting in that seat. You know, if he decides the inside with whomever goes there, it could benefit him if he, either way. So now it's a toss-up. Where is your car better at? Is it better on the inside or the outside for John McKennedy? Because if it's better on the inside, well, do you take your chances on what Stephen Kopchik is going to do, or do you take your chances on what Matt Hirschman is going to do?
Well, you saw Matt Hirschman. He's trying to give the fans kind of a little show. He started to go to the outside, backed back a bit, and now he's back in formation. It appears the Sutcliffe machine might need a hook in turn number 2 as it sets stranded on the racetrack there. So they might be calling for a wrecker, as Sutcliffe's car looks like, yes, the wrecker is now coming out to assist car number 78.
Yeah, the East Coast Towing and Recovery wrecker coming out. They'll get Walt Sutcliffe back into the running order or back into the pit area. But let's take a minute and let's give a quick rundown of where we're at with 30 laps remaining.
Stephen Kopsik has led more laps than most, looking for his second victory in the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series this season. He opened, and now he wants to close with success. Matt Hirschman is currently in second. John McKennedy, car 79, is third. Great run again for Brett Meservey. Car 76 is fourth. Anthony Bello has been in the top 5 and is in position number 5. Matt Swanson is 6th, Andrew Moeller is 7th. Teddy Hodgson is 8th. Max Zackham is 9th. And Anthony Nacella rounds out the top 10.
Behind them, you've got Tyler Ripkemus up to 11th. Kyle Bonsignor has worked himself up through into the top 12. Dylan Izzo 13th. Jeff Battle 14th. Keith Rocco up to 15th. Woody Pitcat 16th. 17th is Ronnie Williams. Austin Beers has only been able to get up to 18th. He's been stuck in traffic. Chris Pastriak is 19th, and David Arute rounds out the top 20.
So the field under caution, 70 laps show up on the board. For those of you watching on Racing America, cautions do not count in this series. That's what makes it so exciting. You have to race your way into this event. You cannot lay back, not have a good scuff session, not be starting up front in your heats, and not be in that draw to start up front in the feature event.
No, it makes all the difference in the world, and sometimes that draw can bite you. Look at Matt Hirschman, had to stop back in 7th, is where he redrew, but he did have that option when he went to pick. That one may have still been in there, could have put him on the point, but it didn't. And that is the beauty of the draw with this series.
There is the Van Hurst Choose Cone. Let's see. Stephen Kopsick goes high, and guess what? Matt Hirschman goes low.
And John McKennedy followed suit on the outside.
Interestingly enough, Brett Meservey, he decides to go to the inside in position number 3. Let's take a look at the 3rd row.
Well,
it is Matty Swanson, and then the number 1 of Anthony Bello.
Walt Sutcliffe stuck again, and I think that may be the end of his day as he has trouble keeping that car running, and that is a tough, tough day.
It is, and he is an independent runner, shows up, him and his brother, every single race event, and they represent a lot of the guys that are not necessarily running for the win, but they are trying to finish and be consistent and learn in the process.
You know, I've seen Walt come to different racetracks, and there are times he'll bring a modified and a street stock,
yes, he will,
or a late model. Just going out there to have fun, because he is really the definition of a racer. It's not about the win. It's not about the championships. It's about going out onto the racetrack and having fun and doing something that you love to do.
You know, that is so true. But try to tell Stephen Kopsick and Matt Hirschman that sitting in the front row.
You know what? You need both ends of it. You really do.
Okay. If you were a betting individual, the odds-on favorite for 70 circuits would have to be Kopsick. But if you looked at the odds of Matt Hirschman, the answer is in the record books.
There's the green flag, and we're back underway as they head down into 1. McKennedy now has the option as Hirschman edges out to the front of the field for the first time today. McKennedy dives down low, looking for second.
John McKennedy running on rails to the bottom. Stephen Kopsick in a dogfight for second as Matt Hirschman looks for the win and the title. Here comes McKennedy. McKennedy quickly moves into second. Will it stick down the back straightaway? Bottom of turn 3. Side by side and wheel to wheel.
McKennedy edging out up into the number 2 spot, and Stephen Kopsick in a position he hasn't been since the drop of the green. The chaser down into 3 and 4. He and McKennedy still race side by side, with McKennedy getting the advantage at the stripe each time.
Kyle Bonsignor and Anthony Nacella have moved into the top 10 in the comfort zone. McKennedy finally wears out Kopsick, and John McKennedy is in second, but it's short-lived. Here comes Kopsick back.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable second for McKennedy. Kopsick continues to hound him. Now he gets behind him and looks for the crossover move. Just can't get it through 1 and 2. And now he loses about a car length. This gives McKennedy the chance to run his lane, and we'll see if he's got anything to try to catch that number 60.
Kevin, your observation of Anthony Nacella was spot on. He has moved into the top 10. Bonsignor is sticking with him. Side-by-side battle there, and Moeller is directly in front of them with car number 14. Teddy Hodgson trying to get down underneath Bello, can't do it. Back up front, 78 laps show up on the big board. And guess what? Matt Hirschman is motoring away.
Matt has found his niche. He knows how to save the car when he needs to, and he knows how to go when it's time. And now it is go time, and Hirschman is showing everybody why he is a 9-time champion of this series.
Certainly is. He continues to work his magic at the front of the field. Here comes Kyle Bonsignore. Andrew Moeller is directly in front of him with Teddy Hodgson, the $20,000 man from earlier this season.
All of a sudden, Keith Rocco is starting to come to life. He has worked himself up into the 11th spot, battling with Tyler Ripkema down into turns 3 and 4. As we are getting down, we're 82 laps up on the board. We're almost down to the final 15.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes on that 14 car. He's moved to the outside of Teddy Hodgson, and there's Kyle Bonsignore. Bonsignore is up to 9th. Hodgson is in 8th, but now it looks like Bonsignore has moved into 8th. And Moeller is directly in front of them.
Yeah, Moeller hanging on in that number 14 as they come off of turn number 2, right behind Anthony Bello in that 6th spot, down into 3 and 4, as Matt Hirschman is setting times faster than everybody else right now in his comfort zone out front. 15 to go this time at the stripe.
The countdown continues. Heavy lap traffic in the second. Oh, we've got a spin.
2 cars together, the 81 of Wenzel and the 19 of Battle get together and slow us up one more time.
Battle did a good job of trying to avoid Wenzel's machine, as both of those came together like 2 cymbals in an orchestra. But no harm, no foul. It appears the Wenzel car will get fired back up. 87 up on the board. And if you thought the choose cone was important last time, Kevin, let's see what's going to happen this time.
You know, we'll go back to that if I was a betting man, and I don't care what lane Matt Hirschman takes. It's going to take a bad restart to put McKennedy at the front of the field. As strong as John is, Matt is just that much stronger.
Kind of the story of the yellow brick road in The Wizard of Oz. We know that Matt Hirschman likes money. He's going for a title. It's worth a lot of money in this Monaco Modified Series. So he's going for that, and he's going for $10,000 plus. So double payday, not double dipping, but Matt Hirschman is right where he wants to be.
He really is. And we watched him sit in that 6th, 7th, 8th spot for the first 50 laps. Got an opening, took a spot. Got an opening, took a spot. And when he got that opportunity, his tires were probably as fresh as somebody at lap number 20 that had been pushing the car.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Keep your eyes also in these final circuits on the number 14 machine of Andrew Moeller, the 07 of Kyle Bonsignore, Teddy Hodgson, and then Keith Rocco, who had an up and down day, and then, of course, Anthony Nacella is also surfaced among the top 10, and then Austin Beers along with Tyler Ripkema.
So the choose cone is out, and no surprise, Hirschman decided the inside lane, and with that'll put McKennedy, he chose the outside. So now, does John have anything underneath the hood of that Christopher's Towing number 79?
Different player in the outside of this one. Before it was Stephen Kopsik, who wanted to try his skills in the front row. Kopsik has now decided to pull back the reins and perhaps gain enough giddy up in this horse race to put him back up front. Shout out again to Brett Meservey.
He's probably been the biggest surprise of this race.
I agree, and the biggest surprise of this season.
Yes.
He's done an amazing job. The apple didn't fall far from that tree, and that is for sure.
So the field is set one more time. Lucky 13 remaining in this one. Hirschman and McKennedy will bring the field down. Kopchik and Meserve in row number 2, Matt Swanson and Anthony Bello, row number 3.
Row number 4, it is Moeller and Bonsignor. The cream is rising to the top. McKennedy tries everything, but he's no match for Matt Hirschman. Now, all of a sudden, Stephen Kopsick trying to shake off Meserve, and look out because here comes Matty Swanson. The kid from Harvard moves in to the top 5.
You know, Matt really likes this racetrack. He's always had some good success here as he's worked himself up in a 5th. And look who's coming on the outside is Kyle Bonsignor in that 07, battling with Anthony Bello. Andrew Moeller now closing in on Anthony Bello.
We're down to less than 10. And the story is not the lead car. All of a sudden, it is just outside of the top 5. Here comes Kyle Bonsignor. Taps to the back bumper of the Bellows number 1 car. Pulls it back into line. Meanwhile, back up front, it is still Hirschman. Now all of a sudden, Matty Swanson is all over Brett Meserve, and that's the battle for the 4th spot.
Yeah, trying to get a run down low, but Brett just a little bit stronger coming off the corner. And look at Nocella go 3 wide down the backstretch to pick up a couple of spots down to the inside of Ronnie Williams.
Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, high 5, 5 circuits to go. And it appears that it's going to be a cakewalk for Matt Hirschman as he comes off the turn, back to the stripe again. Now here comes Swanson, trying to get around Meserve. That's the battle for position number 4. And all of a sudden, Kyle Bonsignor is cutting the cake with the knife. He's coming to the front of the field.
And so is Austin Beers. He's found some late race moves and now battling with the 07. The twin sticks in the air, Matt Hirschman, John McKennedy, Stephen Kopchick, Brett Meserve, and Matt Swanson, your top 5.
Down the back straightaway. He is just 1 lap away from another title in the Monaco Tri-Track Series. He is looking at $10,000 plus. Deep into turn number 3, we've got a spin. Hulkowitz, but here comes, no, the caution flag comes out. Hulkowitz goes spinning, and now this could change the entire complexion of this event. 99 shows up on the big board. Car number 08 spun off turn number 4. And that, of course, is Nick Hulkowitz, the Hulkowitz Plumbing Company machine. And it looked like Hulkowitz might have lost it by himself. We're looking at the replay. And that could be the story. So now, it's come down to this. They say it's not over until the sweet song of success is sung in the winner's circle. But for Matt Hirschman, it's just another Saturday and winning $10,000 here at Seekonk.
So we've got the field getting crossed up. The choose cone is coming out.
And this could be the Timex timely move of this event. There is the Van Hurst choose cone. Pace car at the front of the field. Hirschman takes the bottom. McKennedy, the outside. Kopsick follows Hirschman. Meserve follows McKennedy. Third row, Swanson. And look at Austin Beers, back among the top 6. Then row number 4, Anthony Bello and Kyle Bonsignor. Row number 5, it is Andrew Moeller and Keith Rocco. Row number 6, Woody Pitcat and Tyler Ripkema. 2x2. It's a green-white checker situation. And there's the cross. Be prepared and ready. Green-white checker, $10,000, and a champion in the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series. All will be determined in less than 2 circuits.
Matt Hirschman cleaning off those front tires and getting ready with what could be the final shot to bring the field off of turn number 4, up on the throttle. Up he goes, and he sets the pace down into turn number 1 as Bello and Missouri, Kopchik and Missouri battle for that number 3 spot.
John McKennedy digs in hard in the outside lane. Final circuit. Matt Hirschman setting the pace. 2 turns left. $10,000 and the crowning of the champion on the Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series. Matt Hirschman will take down the victory. John McKennedy in for second. Stephen Kopchik unofficially in third. Matt Swanson for fourth. Brett Missouri for 5. Austin Beers for 6. Kyle Bonsignor for 7th. Andrew Moeller for 8th. Anthony Bello for 9th. And Woody Pitkat to round out the top 10. And it is official. Matt Hirschman, the Florida Connection, in memory of Greg Narducci, parked sideways at the start-finish line to show the Florida Connection sponsorship on the car. He has done it. Secured a victory for Greg Narducci, who's watching in the heavens tonight, and secured yet another title on the Monaco Tri-Track Series. They'll be heading down to the winner's circle to meet and greet our winner and the champion. And they're pointing at the Florida Connection, and congratulations going out to Matt Hirschman on another title. Last chance to get those special deals under the Sunoco tent coming off turn number 4. The $10 rack has still got some goodies and all the other items. Great holiday stocking stuffers. But right now, our attention will be heading into the winner's circle in just a few short moments. And as you can see, the Matt Hirschman machine showing the Florida Connection in memory of Greg Narducci on the back end of the race car. Rene Dupuis, Pete, joining, presenting those beautiful commemorative all season long from Sign Pro in Plantsville, Connecticut. Rene Dupuis down there to congratulate Matt Hirschman, the First Lady of Modified Racing, and of course, Kevin Boucher is down there. And Kevin, it is a somber but a very exciting victory lane.
Well, it definitely is, Ben, as Matt is taking his time, taking off the safety equipment. The window net has just come down, and they are over there talking to him for, you know, just getting the debrief as he gets ready to climb out of the car. In victory lane, your 2024 Monaco Ford Tri-Track Modified champion and the Haunted 100 winner. How about a round of applause? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Hirschman. Matt, congratulations. An emotional win for you here today. I know you've been a loss of a good friend here this past week.
Yeah, let's get the hard part out of the way first. Obviously, longtime friend and sponsor, and Greg Narducci passed away this week. Him and his wife, Vanetta, were nothing but nice to me through my whole lifetime. So just going to miss them both, and, you know, great to win not only the race, but the season championship here just after his passing this week. So, like I said, tough to deal with stuff like that. And, you know, we came out here today, and I was going to do my best to try and honor him and just race, have a good race, and, you know, try our best and give it give it our best effort, and it turned out to be a winning one today. So obviously, it's like always, you know, the whole team, excellent job. I got a local sponsor here in Bristol Toyota, put them in victory lane here 2 out of 3 this year, and you know, like I said, it's all that stuff is kind of you know, it's kind of secondary just to what this week means and what this win means, and just in memory of Greg Narducci, and like I said, you know, Florida Connection Racing, and him and Vanetta, and then you know, all his family and loved ones. You know, hopefully this can bring some happiness or some joy on a tough week.
A great way to honor a fallen friend here this afternoon. But tell us about that race. Bided your time. This track once again seemed to come right into your hands.
It did today, but we missed on the Open Wheel Wednesday the previous 2 runnings. That's the kind of track this is. It's a tough place to hit the setup on and have the car come to you at the right time. Back here at the Open Wheel Wednesday, the car came to me at lap 1, but it was too soon, too good too soon, and you know, we missed out on a potential huge payday that day. But you know, this is good to get a win here. I mean, like I said, I don't think, and maybe some of the guys that used to race here, the legends of the modifieds that used to race here all the time, maybe they can relate, but I don't think it's possible to really dominate this place because it beats you more than you can beat it. But I love coming here for that challenge. Sometimes we leave here disappointed in the car, but never really disappointed in the racetrack or the fans or the people here. Enjoy coming here. Hopefully there'll be 3 more here next year.
Been a pretty good season for you this year. Back in victory lane here at Seekonk, the Monaco Ford Tri-Track Championship. I know you got a lot of supporters and people behind you.
Yeah, sure do. Like I said, we really came on strong to end the season. We didn't start out well at all. It wasn't until probably August at Waterford that we kind of turned it around, and we ran top 2 here over the course of the second half of the season. You know, so a great effort by the team. On the average, I know we travel the furthest to run the series than any team does, and it incurs costs with hotels and fuel and things that a lot of other teams don't have. But we've always enjoyed running with the series. Proud to be a champion for the 9th time, and like I said, that's always a team effort. Today, we didn't have a pit. We didn't pit and that, so we didn't get some of the guys involved that at times you do. Today, I'd like to think this one was Greg and I out there, so you know, we got it done.
Congratulations, champion and winner of the Haunted 100, presented by USNE. How about a round of applause? Matt Hirschman, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away yet, ladies and gentlemen. We still have one more event on the schedule, and that is the street stocks to roll out in just a couple of minutes. As victory lane ceremonies will take a few minutes down here to celebrate the 2024